All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the No Offense Podcast. It's your boy Matt Arrington, aka Mr. No Offense. Right now, you're in a place to be. In case you are lost, it's okay. I promise you, you're in good company. We got your boy David Bathen in the house, man. That was him. That was him that you guys were listening to on that controller violin remix, man. I'm telling y'all in for some talent. Y'all in for some talent. Y'all in for some great show today, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. Shout out to everybody who may be in the building. Shout out to Mom that promo. I see you busy. Artists, if you're gonna spend $20, if you like smoking on that good, if you like whatever, invest in yourself. Put $20 where you can raise your career up, man. Get some exposure. Get people to know your name where you can start, performing, getting some money. Did I say performing? Did I say getting some money? You know what I'm saying? Do that for yourself today. You know what I'm saying? Hit my boys up at Mob That Promo. Shout out to the sponsors also in the building. For those of you who have seen the post, we are looking for new sponsors, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We come, first serve. Contact us for the details. But without further ado, it's time for us to get to the moment of hand, the matter at hand. I got Mr. David Bathen on standby, man, and he's wondering if this is the time to take off his clothes. But before he do this, he want to go live. So I hope y'all ready. Yeah, I'm so serious. Don't go nowhere. Right now, I'm finna make that happen. All right. Without further ado, let me bring to you Mr. David Bathen. How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing, boss? We're live.
I take off my clothes now? Is that what you said?
We're going to try...
I take it off now?
No, we're going to try not to get banned. We're going to leave it for a little bit later in the show so we can give them some kind of content.
Later. Okay, a little bit later. Got you.
Yes,
got you.
Give them some time to get their beads. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, please, if you can. Mob's talking about, you know it. Mob, don't spend too much. You know how to get them beads. Get the good kind. You know what I'm saying? We want the gold. Is there a preference? Do you have a preference, sir? You have a preference in beads that you might like while he goes shopping for those beads?
Red beads, maybe.
Red beads? Mob, get the red beads, man. Get the big beads, man. It's going to be good. Mardi Gras. Coming today. No offense. All right, but until we get to that part of the show, let's start with this part of the show. First and foremost, thank you, man, for being here, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. Yes, sir. My mother, a little back history, man. My mother actually had the opportunity to see him live, and she called me from the show and said, "Matt, you gotta hear this, man. He's amazing." Yeah, I think my man was up there cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? He was up there cracking jokes. Not only was he cracking jokes, he was entertaining. He was very well. And this is me listening and live from Texas while he's in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Performing. It was great. It was awesome. And if you guys get the opportunity to see my man, you guys definitely need to make sure that y'all do that. Do that there. And we're gonna find out how today. Let's start from the beginning, David, man. Where did it all kick off for you, man?
Well, I guess it all started when I was when I was a sperm. I believe that's when it all started.
I believe that's where we all started.
I was swimming, finding my way, you know what I'm saying, and I heard a violin, and that's what drew me to where I needed to go. You know what I'm saying? No, but to be fully honest, my mom, she used to play the violin, and she used to sing, and she's actually from Puerto Rico. Okay. And that's where she would take violin lessons, and she would sing opera and all that good stuff. And my grandfather, he was an opera singer, and he would tour, and
looks like he might have got a call. Looks like he might have gotten a call, guys. Just give us just a second. There you go. You're back.
You there?
We're back like you never left. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened there.
Might want to hit a D and D right up top. But other than that, we're good.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're great. We're back like you never left.
Yeah. If I hit airplane mode, like it'll
No.
pause.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
not airplane. Don't worry about it. If it happens again, we're good. Just decline the call. We're good. Like you got another call.
All right. I, I just sent a message. Somebody was calling me, so I had to send a message saying stop.
I think they're calling you to probably tell you they see you.
That's probably what it is.
It happens all the time, boss. Don't worry about it. It's cool. So you were saying though, so your grandfather used to tour. He's an opera singer as well.
Yeah, he was an opera singer in Puerto Rico, and he came to New York, and he was a little bit famous, I guess, because when he was waiting to take the subway to where he was going, he would practice in the subway, and he would just sing, and everybody knew him as the guy. Oh shoot, that guy's here. We're gonna get like a little opera concert here in the subway. So yeah, that's sort of like my family background, and anyways, when I was like 5, I started asking my mom for a violin, but it was because for some reason I thought violin was the name of a video game. I would say, "Hey, please let me get that violin system or whatever," right? And my mom was like so happy because oh shoot, my baby boy wants to play the violin, right? And I didn't want to play the violin. I wanted to play video games. And so then she finally gets me the violin, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this? This is not what I asked for, right? And she's like, well, no, I bought the violin, so now you're gonna play it. Shut up and play, right? So that's when I started, she started teaching me. I hated it in the beginning, but I just sort of kept at it, and then I quit. I quit when I was like 10.
Really?
I was like, I'm not doing this no more. My music career is over. I'm done. And then for the year that I stopped, she would just keep going on. Oh, I remember when he used to play the violin, and it was so beautiful, and it made me so. And it was like this constant guilt trip of like, oh. So when I was 11, all right, fine, I'll get back into it. Fine. So I picked it up, and I didn't look back. Been playing ever since.
And ever since, man. Well, I'm definitely glad that you picked it up, man. Because even in that controller remix, we could hear that it sounds like you're enjoying yourself, man. It definitely conveys that emotion as well. Like it's just transferable. As you're having a good time, we're picking up the good time. We're picking up the vibe. We want to dance. We want to, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like an awe that we get to actually. We're in awe of your talent. You know what I'm saying? That you're able to do what you can do on the fiddle. But for once, we're actually enjoying the music. You know what I'm saying? It's putting us in a good mood. It makes people want to actually get out and socialize, and that to me is very important, especially with current events with everybody having to quarantine and having to be shut up. You know what I'm saying? So what you're doing, what you bring to the stage, man, what you bring to the event is awesome. Gee, it's awesome.
Thank
So
you, man. Thank you. It means a lot.
no problem, man. So let's take it back a little bit. A little bit. Like I know you said that. So obviously, like you weren't playing when you said that you came from a sperm with music. Like I mean, you've got you've got your grandpa, you got your mom. You know, so you got a very musical family. You know what I'm saying? How did I know up until the point where you asked for the violin system? Were you constantly hearing sounds in the home? Like was your mom like singing like just washing dishes, showers, things like that? Was it like a very musical home, or did you know what I'm saying? Was it just up until like when she was actually playing and rehearsing on her instruments as well, or how what was the what's the word I'm looking for? How often did you hear music in the home? Let me see.
All right. That's a great question. So yeah, my obviously like I guess like in any other home, my mom was always playing music. A lot of Mariah Carey, a lot of Whitney Houston, and like the
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. A lot of Anita Baker
Ooh,
also,
okay, put it on
which
paper.
which is crazy, yeah, because we grew up. Well, I grew up in Guatemala, right, Central America. But my mom is like American Puerto Rican, so yeah, I guess it doesn't make sense. But we'd be listening to that stuff, and
It's like very soulful music compared to like
yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's
yeah, very, very, very soulful music, and of course we would hear like Jose Feliciano, like this famous Puerto Rican singer. Um, at that time, was Mark Anthony popping? I don't think he was yet. I think he was doing like the freestyle, Miami freestyle that he
yeah.
used to do. Um, but yeah, no. So I have an older brother, and he started playing piano. He plays piano. He started playing piano, So yeah, man, I guess I was kind of like a stupid little kid because I was surrounded by instruments and stuff. I don't know how I thought violin was a video game system. Like I'm surrounded by instruments and music. Like how do I get that wrong?
I guess I guess that's what I was trying to. I guess that's what I was trying to get at. Like, what was the like what was it? Was just like you found a violin? Like what was it? So I mean, we've got all these instruments going in the house. Did your mom ever try to make you like play with your brother? I know you said that he played the piano, and I like growing up. I used to actually play piano, and my brother used to want to sing. So it's that sometimes my parents used to try to push us to try to push it together, and I was like, man, I'm just learning how to play. I don't even know if he in key or if I'm in key or who wrong when it just don't sound right. Did you have those kind of
Right.
experiences or what was going on?
Um, I think we did play chopsticks together. Some like simple little thing, but we would be totally unsynchronized, just in different keys, a different timing, like not well at all. And yeah, but my brother, I think he wanted to play the sax, but since he was little, they said, "Oh, you can't play the sax yet. You have to start on the clarinet."
Oh, yep, same thing.
Yeah, that happened to you too?
Nah, similar fingers. I actually play a lot of. I actually play about 10
Really?
instruments. Yeah, I
Mm.
started with low brass, and then I got curious with saxophone, and I mean a lot of it I picked up in high school. But like I don't play it as fluent as you. I played enough to sound good on a marching
Oh,
band field. So you know
like
that's you know what I'm
group.
saying. It's not much, yeah.
Yeah,
But so let me.
yeah. That
What were you saying, boss?
no, like that's hard, man. Playing in like a marching band, that is like 'cause you have to be Jesus, be able to play and march and like it's no joke. Jesus, that is no joke.
Man, it was some of the best times of my life. But let me tell you, after I stopped going to school and you ain't got to march no more, y'all don't want to see me stand up. Anyway, anyway, how did that lead as far as your schooling, man? Because I know when I was going, when you play instruments, man, women tend to, you had that thing on. You pull out the violin, you might get that sweetheart. What was going on in your schooling as far as did your music help at all, or did you carry it through? I know you said you stopped at 10, but you picked it back up. So how did that carry through for you?
It was honestly the complete opposite of what you're saying, bro. I was just like that nerd that was just with his violin all the time. This big time nerd running around with the violin and just the other nerds and we would nerd out on violin stuff. No, but yeah, because I grew up in Guatemala up until I was like 15. So I would play there. I had lessons with this older dude who he had like studied in Germany. He was like 100 years old, and it was crazy. He would charge me $5 just to be teaching me for hours, and he was awesome, man. Great teacher. Um, and then when I was 15, we moved here to the U.S.
Hmm.
And then I started playing in high school, and yeah, I played in high school, and I played mainly classical for a long time. It wasn't until later that I figured out you could play like soulful stuff on the violin. Um, yeah, I went first to Celebration High School for a while, and then I went to the Osceola School for the Arts. That was an awesome place. It was real hippy dippy, like nerds and weirdos welcome because it was all artists, so just weirdos everywhere.
You said weirdos.
Um, Weirdos and hippies and artists and all that stuff. And yeah, I just played classical for a long time, but it wasn't what was in my heart, like that stuff, the controller, that kind of that soulful stuff. That's what I really wanted to play, and it took me a long time to figure out how to do that. Because I was, when you're learning
Classical.
classical, it's very it's like by the numbers painting almost,
You
like
read the music and you play what you see, and it's not like you feel the tempo, but I get what you mean. Like with soul, you have to actually feel what it is that you're playing. You don't play every note, and I get you, yes sir.
uh,
How did that come about? What you cultivating that skill? What really taught you to sit down and do that?
So yeah, well, obviously, always it's so crazy because I was playing classical, but what I would listen to was like just like soulful music, some soulful hip hop, R&B, like obviously like Usher, um, Mariah Carey, Whitney, yeah, well, Usher was a huge influence. The Confessions album, that was like, I think that's the first album that I bought with my money. I think that was my first, and it was just like mind blowing how good it was.
At least you got a good one. Yes, sir.
We Gotta Let It Burn, Confessions. I was singing along like I had a baby mama that I had to like, what I'm
You
saying?
had to break the news to.
I'm like 13 and I'm like, oh, how do I tell how to tell my one shorty about my other shorty who's pregnant? Like, and I was just feeling it the whole way through.
Stressed out in math class trying to figure out what you gonna say at lunchtime, huh?
Yes,
Great.
exactly. And and then it's so weird. Like my senior year of high school, I started having like these really vivid dreams. And this is gonna sound so weird, but I had like vivid dreams of like these soul singers would come to me and be like, "We need you to play the violin like this, you know?
Gotcha.
We need you to stop focusing so much on class. We need to be we need you to play how we sing. And it was so weird, like a really weird. I don't know what if I was on something or what happened, but like they came to me in a dream, and and ever since, like my goal is to sound like the soul singers on the violin. If you hear some of my vibrato, I try to hit like that church singing. Ah!
Yeah.
I try to imitate it on the violin. And yeah, that's how I transferred from classical over to like soul music and R&B and all that stuff.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you pick this skill up and you realize, hey man, I could do something with this. What's your next move as far as because don't get it twisted. I mean, my man is very, very humble, but I mean, like I said, like you saw it in the description. You know what I'm saying? He's don't get it twisted. He's couple choice awards, 2019, 2020. My man DJs, entertains. He's funny. He's likable. So where how do you go from hey I could play, you know what I'm saying? I could play this soul to the man that you are today. The David Bathen we get to sit
Mhm.
down to with today. What's the story?
Well, yeah, the thing about like entertaining, like you said, your mom saw me at the thing and I'm telling jokes and I'm like messing around with the audience and all that stuff. Like public speaking for me was like the worst. Like I would there's they made a poll in the US, the two biggest fears people have. The first one is death and the second one is public speaking, right? So people would prefer to be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
Dang. Wow.
um,
Yeah, that's tough.
and I was so terrified of like any type of public speaking or anything like that, and I would just like, that sensation when your stomach drops to your butt, right, and you feel like you're gonna die. That's how I felt anytime I had to like public speak, and even in college when I had a public speaking course, I had to get drunk.
Oh, okay, okay. I got you. I got you. Bet.
I had to drink and able to do that. So what I did is I just said, you know what? Let me figure out how to do this, and I just did it consistently. I would go to open mics and just talk and just force myself to be terrified. And yeah, sometimes you have to force yourself to do that thing that you're afraid of. And I was very thankful that I had friends that would be very encouraging. So very very grateful and appreciative of that. Friends that were supportive and that kind of stuff. And then yeah, so like my goal is always to sort of mesh like good music with comedy and entertainment and all that stuff. Really get a party going and make something that's memorable and people like really have a good ass time.
Man, and from what I hear, man, you give that what you're setting out to give that experience, you're definitely nailing it, man. Listen, my mother talked about you. You don't understand when you guys left when she left that show. I have no doubt in my mind that she would come and see you again. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying?
Your mom is awesome.
It,
Let me just say your mom is awesome, by the way.
thanks, thanks. And I'm sure she's gonna love to hear that. Yeah, it's so crazy, man. She talked about you from the time, and like I said, from a little bit of from what I heard on when she was on live, you were just funny, man. And from what I could like, even on the microphone, you had the whole crowd giggling and laughing, man. And that to me, that's almost like a lost art. That full entertainment package. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
to be that one, and and that's leading into the weddings as well, dude. That's hats off to you, dude. Like you know what I'm saying? Like man, that's got to be a tough. How did your first wedding gig go compared to how the confidence that you have today when you take a wedding gig? Is there a difference, or are you still like, oh God, I hope this goes well, or what happens? Like what's the feeling that you go through there?
Well, there's always well when you first start out, like obviously there's a lot of nervousness, but this is something I learned from actually Dragon Ball. The key, right? Controlling your key so that your nervousness turns into excitement, and sort of you're more in control of it than it is in control of you, right? And obviously you have to be very, very like well prepared, like run over your lines and stuff like that, and make sure you know what you're talking about. I remember this one wedding. Oh man, one of a surefire way to get a crowd excited is to shout out where most people are from.
Yeah.
Like where my Philly people at, where my Florida people at, where my like Jamaican people at, or whatever, right? And so it was at this event. Everybody was Hispanic,
No.
right?
Gotcha.
It was Hispanic, right? And I shout out, where my Puerto Ricans at, right? And usually Central Florida, that's like the go-to thing to say,
Yeah.
right? And it was dead silence,
No.
right?
Wrong party.
And I'm like, okay, where my Dominican? Like I just kept, for some reason I just thought everyone would be Puerto Rican or Dominican, and like they were Colombian,
Oh no.
so it wasn't like super offensive, but it was like, bro, what the hell are you talking about, dude? It was like, um, and then, dude, at the same that same wedding, oh my God, so many. It was in the beginning, right, when I was still figuring things
Yeah.
out. Um, so I usually like to go the night before. I go over with the couple about announcements and everything, make sure everything's on point, and I have the list of like the first dances. Like at this time, obviously the couple has the first dance. We'd like to invite the mother of the groom and the groom to dance, and I say their names, right? And I read the names that are on the list. I read the groom's name and the mother's name, and then there's like this awkward silence,
Uh.
and I'm like, okay. Turns out the name they had put on the list was the name of the groom's father's new wife.
Oh. Oh. That's awkward. Oh wow.
And I'm like, why would you put it there? Like why? And this is why I like to go over things to make sure everything's on point. And they chose not to. So, and everybody just looked at me like, you idiot, And it was so. Um, but thankfully, with the music, we made up for it and everything. So definitely in the beginning, there's hiccups, things you learn to like. It's important to over prepare. Make sure you're aware of these different things. They're gonna affect what you might say. And but yeah, man, definitely were some awkward moments in the beginning for sure. Yeah.
I mean, man, that's yeah. I don't like I said. I'm hats off to you because all that happened to me. Same. That's why I said everybody's not built to do the same thing, dude. I'm not the guy to hire for that because I probably would have walked off. I was like, hey guys, I hope you guys have a great night. Just,
That's me. That's it for me, folks. Have a good one.
you know, uh,
That's honestly what I felt like doing. But
toughed it out though, man. That's all that. And then look at where you are now. I mean, dude, now you're pro. You know what I'm saying? Now you take a request. I see that you even have the ability to learn certain songs as long as you got plan to actually do. As long as you have time and to actually learn it. Because I know people pop up from day to day and be like, hey, can you play this? And if you never heard it, you're like, I don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell them in advance, you know what I'm saying, for their event.
sometimes, sometimes not even. Sometimes it's like on the spot. Yo, we need you to. This is actually the song. It's not this one. It's this song.
Really?
You know? Yeah, yeah, that has happened, and thankfully, like I don't have perfect pitch. I have relative pitch. So if the song starts playing in the moment, I can start harmonizing and just making it sound pretty until I
Figure it
figure it
out.
out.
Gotcha.
So if you're hearing it, you're just hearing, oh, it sounds pretty, like you would never know that I'm in the moment. I'm figuring it out,
Gotcha.
you know. And that's something that I've been able to develop over time as well because of stuff like that. Like, oh, actually, they gave you the wrong song. It's not this song. It's this other song.
Oh,
You know?
and you find out, of course, when you start playing it on wedding day, right? Uh,
Yeah, no, exactly. Like literally, like right now, the song is about to play. We need you to play this song. You know? So I just start playing like the track, and then I just jump in there and just
just figure it
groove it
out.
out. You know?
So how was your journey in learning? Because like you said, you were classically trained to learn to play by ear. Because you know what I'm saying. I know that itself is a
Yeah.
beast as well. How was your journey tackling that and getting that under your belt? Because I'm assuming that's what you're doing when you're, like you said, when you're listening to the track and you're figuring, you're harmonizing so you can get the key and everything and go forward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great point, man. It's so funny. I don't understand how sometimes in classical I feel like they squelch creativity a little bit, which I really don't understand because it's all about like stick to the music and you know the written music, but it's so important to develop your ear, and it took me a while, man, of just like hearing a song and then figuring out scales, the scale that fit with it, and here's a hack for any musicians listening. If you want to jam out to music, most popular music is built around the pentatonic
Blues,
scale. The pentatonic is just pentatonic. Penta means
five,
five, right? So there's five notes in the pentatonic. It's like the traditional blues
blues
scale.
scale.
If you play the shoot, I don't have my violin
I
with me,
I
but
got you.
uh, you know, if you there's certain the five notes of the blues scale, you just learn it in each key, and then you can pretty much figure out any song. You know? So you figure out the blues song, which then you think about it, all popular music is almost based on the blues, right? Like they took it, it evolved, it became something else, and so you learn the simple blues scales, and you can sort of figure it out. So that's pretty much what I did. I started learning some simple blues and figure out how to apply that to the pop songs that I would hear, you know?
That's genius, man.
And
And like you said, it's definitely a hack, man. Thank you for sharing that as well. You know what I'm saying? As like I said, as anything that we can learn from you, my man, is definitely an honor because we definitely appreciate your time today. The as far as performing now, I mean, obviously, I imagine you perform in crowds of different varieties, right? Different sizes, various sizes, such as the weddings, such as the, the was it jazz jeans and jokes that my mom was at, and things like that. How do you find that you're like when you show up to actually do your show? How often are you running into acoustic problems and things like that, or do you pretty much at this point know based on what venue and things that you already know what kind of things you should bring to get the sound that you want, or is this pretty much still like a learning experience? So how does that go?
right, right. No, that's another great question. Um, so I play the electric violin, right? So the electric, I can plug it in into any sound system, and I almost always bring my sound system, which is pretty loud. Like that one where I met your mom, Jazz and Jokes, they had like a whole AV. They hired a company, and thank God for that because when you're outdoors and there's a certain amount of people, like it needs to be loud, loud,
Gotcha.
you know. But yeah, no, I have my electric, and I always carry my equipment because I have been at places where you show up and like either the venue doesn't have the right equipment or like the sound guys are sometimes idiots. Like that's like a good sound guy can make or break
Yes,
everything.
sir.
Like the band can be like amazing, the artist can be amazing, but if the sound guy doesn't know what he's doing, it takes a crap on everything. Um, so I always I think it's good to prepare with the mentality that sometimes you just have to be over prepared. I come with everything. So if the sound guy is a moron or he's incompetent, like it's the worst thing is when someone's incompetent and has a bad attitude.
Right? They don't want to fix it.
Now, so now you literally have nothing to go off. You know, like you don't know what you're doing and you have a horrible attitude. So I just come with all my stuff. You know what, bro? Don't worry about it. I got it. And I just set it up. You know. Thankfully, Death and Jokes, shout out to them. It was awesome. Great people. Dr. Glenn, who set up the whole thing, he's an awesome guy too. Um, but yeah, sound very important. But I bring my electric, plug in, and we make it happen for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Is there a particular? I know you said you like to play a lot of soul, but is that like even when you're at home, if you just decide to pick it up for a minute, is that your go to genre as well? Is that what you pretty much like to play and vibe with? Is that, or is there are there different favorites? Like, are there other favorite genres that you like to play, or
Um, man, you think I could go get my violin real quick?
absolutely? You gonna play some for us? Go do it. Yes, sir.
Let me run out real quick.
Yes, sir. Hey guys, it sounds like we might be in for a treat, man. Let's see what happens. Just in the room, I'm gonna go ahead and thank you guys and acknowledge the chat for everybody who's been here. I know we don't always get a time, so while he's doing that, let me go ahead and tell you guys I definitely appreciate everybody who's in the chat. I definitely see you guys being participating, and I definitely thank you guys here. It looks like we got my dad promo. We got my wife in the building. Don't kill me, man. I'm trying to do a good job. We got looks like the Black Royal in the building, man. What's up, man? What's up, man? I see you guys. Let me. It looks like my man David's back, so let's go ahead and get back to him right now.
Of bringing out the violin, but when I saw that interview with Dominic Hammond, when he's just like jamming throughout the whole thing, I was like,
Yeah, man. Dominique came through and blessed the stage for us for Christmas, on Christmas Eve, man. Shout out to Dominique. He did his thing, man. I definitely appreciate you, and hopefully we'll get to. Well, hey, I'm excited to see it, man. If possibly you guys can work, you know what I'm saying. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
oh man, that's awesome.
That hey, any kind of way we can help facilitate, man. I definitely help. You know what I'm saying. So, uh,
That dude is definitely one of my influences. Like
he's amazing.
he blew up probably like about half a year ago or something like that.
And he,
Because I think he was playing like I don't even know. He was playing like some really upbeat dance hall, maybe I think
yep. And
something like that.
And I believe he had a song called "The Rise." He even let us play it on on our show that day that he was pushing as well. It's really upbeat, emotional song, heartfelt song. Um,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
no, he's an amazing violinist. Like that dude, he's incredible. And he's also repping for the big guy. So shout out to that. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
T, big squad. Yes, sir.
Right, like with this hat and the fiddle, it really looks like I should start playing like some hoedown
Hey,
or something.
I was gonna ask you, do I need to get my cowboy boots?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually used to play in a bluegrass band, and it was a wild time. But yeah, no, you were talking about like the different what I prefer to play most at home,
Mm,
and I guess it's mainly like hip hop. For some reason, hip hop, like the beats, it lends itself so well to having like a violin jam on there, you
for
know.
sure.
And there's certain songs. I guess I mean, I guess this isn't really hip hop. It's like like that. Did you recognize that song?
That was Michael Jackson, man.
Yeah. That was Smooth Criminal.
If I didn't recognize that,
So,
my people would have disowned me, my G. You definitely killed it.
thank you, bro. So yeah, like
Smooth
anything that has
criminal.
like a really strong, solid beat. For me, it's and I I guess Smooth Criminal isn't really hip hop. That's like rock pop, I guess, right?
To
Um,
me, I don't know. It's kind of like a pop, it's kind of like a rock pop kind of. It's definitely upbeat though. You're not gonna sit down while you listen to Smooth Criminal. You gotta get up
yeah,
and lean,
yeah,
man. You gotta do that lean, man. You know. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
But something I've been working on recently is like it's this called thing called chopping, where you do like a percussive thing on the violin. Like I'm still developing it, but it's like I see some dudes doing some really cool percussive thing on the violin. Like they'll be playing and doing percussion.
I
You know what I'm
I'm saying
saying?
so you can really feel you could feel as they're playing the I get what you saying, like it's like a pluck kind of like they're doing, right?
Yeah, it's like a play, but you're doing it with the bow.
Yeah.
And real quick, let me throw back to the thing I was talking about, the pentatonic
Hmm.
scales, which is what most pop songs are built around. So like you have like if it's an A, right? So the blues scale would be right. So you start out with your bass note, and then the third, the fourth, fifth, uh, what is this? The seventh, and then back to the bass. So it's five notes total, right? So if you just learn that scale from there, you can sort of figure out pop songs, and that's what I did to develop my ear from the classical. And it took me a hot minute because like in classical, everything is like it's very stiff, like there's no like
There's no
just like
forgiveness.
there's not like that
Like that
looseness or like writing
flow,
in the pocket or
like
whatever.
that flow.
There's a flow.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
man.
Um, but that's something to do to develop your ear for sure. And as far as playing at home, I think variety is where it's the most fun, because like I play a lot of R&B, hip hop, jazz, and usually it's mainly like a lot of people enjoy it. It's usually like black crowds, like they really get a kick out of it, because like I play some Tupac, I play some Nate Dogg,
Did I hear you play
some Ray
Outcast?
Clay.
That's what Gary
Yeah.
said. That pentatonic. It sounds like Caroline, like right in the beginning, right? Like the yeah.
That's exactly right, bro. Your ears on point. That's exactly it. That's exactly the pentatonic scale. Um, so it's traditionally the song that I just sort of recently learned the violin and I love is right, like that song is killer. Like anybody that's into hip hop from New York,
That
like
I
you
know.
play that and
I was trying to name it. Don't tell me. I know what that is. Is that who is that? I know that song. I just can't place it. Oh my god, bro. Wow.
you know it, like I know you know it.
I want to say it's like Brooke Valentine. I don't know what the. I don't know what the same song is. I know what the song is, but I can't place it.
Hmm.
Mm. Watch. I'm gonna be sleeping tonight, and I'm like, that's what it was. I knew. Go ahead and tell me.
You want me to tell you, or you want to
No,
still
go ahead.
keep doing
Go
that?
ahead. Go ahead and tell me what it is, bro.
Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's you know what. I feel bad because I was okay. You know how songs sample a sample.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was. I'm thinking about the song that sampled it. It's a chick. It's oh man. Like I said, I'm gonna be sleeping tonight, man. I'm screaming out in my sleep. I was like, that's the I can't think of her name. But yeah, man, dude, it's impeccable that you have it right on the money. Like as soon as you played it, people it definitely registers. You know what I'm saying? People definitely know. Oh yeah, I heard that before. It's good, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that it sounds like it's to the point where like I said, man, I'll be excited to hear you, man. I'll be excited to come see you, man. I feel like I'll probably be tired, sweating, probably lost a couple calories. I'll be dancing, yelling, singing, and everything, man. Come to see you, man. I
Yeah.
definitely got to make that happen soon, bro. For real.
And that's really why I do it, because like playing the violin is cool, and then it can get kind of I don't want to say old, but the true enjoyment is like when you're playing for a crowd and everybody's having a good time, and like or like they lose their mind because you hit that, like you start playing that one song, like, oh hell no, there's no way he's gonna play this song. And yeah, that's the best, man. That is it's it's like you feel like you really blend in, like your spirit blends in with the crowd spirit, and you're all just like in that moment, you're just all one. It sounds kind of cheesy and corny, but it's like in that moment, you don't really know each other, you don't know where everybody's from, but in the moment, you're all like united, and that's just the best
It's,
feeling. That's the best feeling for sure.
it's music, man. It's definitely what I call it, the universal language. Nobody has to teach you. You feel it. You innately know it. It feels. People groove. You don't have to teach somebody to groove. They feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't know what exactly it is, but when they hear something, they can move to. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. That's why I said, well, what you provide to everybody, man, we definitely commend you. We're definitely proud that
Thank
you definitely. We're definitely happy that you did decide to pick it up at 10. You know what I'm saying? Pick it back up at 10 instead of leaving it where it was, my man, because it was your calling, G. This is definitely what you were supposed to be doing.
you.
I've got a couple more questions for you, my man. I'm going to be able to let you go today, and I definitely, again, I want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart here. First question is going to be the No Offense banger, because it would not be a No Offense interview had I not asked you this question. Everyone who's sitting in the seat prior to you has had to answer this question, so it's imperative that we get your answer as well, G. Let's say the phone rings right now, and you are unaware of the number. You don't recognize the number. For some reason, you want to pick it up, though, and when you pick it up, this is the call that's going to be known as the call that changed the life of David Bathen. Okay? It could be anybody in the world. We just want to know who's on the phone and how that conversation goes. We're just a fly on the wall, or we're a nosy neighbor, or a nosy superintendent, whatever. We're just in the vicinity. We just want to know who's on the call and what the conversation goes like.
Oh man. Okay, so I guess it would be like ring, ring, ring. Hello. Oh, what? This is. I was gonna say Bill Withers, but Bill Withers passed, so never
They
mind.
used them up, bro.
I know. Oh my God, bro, that joke is on point, bro. Oh, Jesus, they used him up. Damn, that's a good ass joke.
Oh man, they used them up, bro.
Um, I guess it would be Stevie Wonder. Oh my God, if it was Stevie Wonder, first I would hang up. Like, man, shut the hell up. Stop prank calling me.
Right? Because how you saw the numbers?
And I would just hang up. Man, screw you for messing with me, right? Um, so hopefully I wouldn't screw it up, right? Because if they decide to not call back, but if they do call back, it would be Stevie Wonder, and man, Jesus, to play with him and his band, because I have his concert from his DVD concert that he did in England, in London, right? And not just the musicians and the musicianship, but the way he has his stage set up and the explosion of color. Like the whole thing is just an explosion of color and sounds and rhythm and flavor, and he is hilarious, and man, it's crazy, crazy. If it was him, I would lose my mind. I'm terrified of like airplane stuff like that, but if he were to call me out, I would figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I would just have somebody knock me the hell out, throw me on a plane, and go
So
wherever.
wake up getting off.
Yeah.
All right, man. But listen, the reason why we asked, dude, and I appreciate you, I appreciate you for answering it. The reason why we asked is that we hope as we find ways to try to get these videos in circulation, because we know we are on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, our website as well, our Roku app, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. I'm sorry, but as we find we say no, I say Twitch, sorry, and Instagram. This is going to Instagram as soon as we finish. As we find ways to try to get these interviews out, we hope that they land on ears that can make that call happen, or in a vicinity that can make that call happen. And if it does, all we ask is that when it does, um, after you handle your business, after you gather yourself, because I know that's going, like you said, you're gonna lose your mind. After you handle your business, you get your plane tickets and everything together, you get all your business together. Call us. Call us. Maybe. Well, I know you're not gonna call us on the plane because you're gonna be knocked out. You just said that. But call us when you get on that side and say, "Hey, man, you never believe what happened to me," and that'll just help us feel good and to know that maybe it's about that time where we're starting to make those calls happen. So I definitely appreciate you coming through, David. I got a couple more questions for you. First and foremost, for the people who are just not hearing about you today, how can they follow you after the show?
So I go by at follow the fiddle on Instagram, at follow the fiddle. Um, that's basically my name on everything. Facebook, Twitter. I don't really use it, but Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. At follow the fiddle. And of course, my name is David Bathen, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Bet. So yeah, guys, make sure that y'all flood his social medias with requests, man. As know, there's a lot of musicians in here, man. Let's get this work, man. See what happens. You know what I'm saying? Are you interested in doing any features for every musicians or because we intend to have a lot of musicians in our chat that watch our videos and things like that. And sometimes they're curious to know if you'd be interested in maybe doing a feature or some work. And if so, are they able to reach out to you for that kind of business as possible? Are you open to that?
Absolutely. I love doing features. Absolutely, for sure, for sure. Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, guys. So make sure you got the contact information. Let's make it happen. My second question, Dave, is based on today's experience at the No Offense podcast. We already know anyway that you're a superstar, man, and you got to take off. And the more
You
that
too,
the
bro.
more that
You're a hell of an interviewer, dude.
thanks, man. But the more that they get things back to normal from coronavirus, they're gonna open up more venues. They're gonna open up more opportunities and things for you to do what you do. You understand? You're gonna be busy. If we are able to catch you by just the quarter of your coattails and say, "Hey, Dave, it's been a minute since we had an interview with you. Would you be willing to come back and sit with us? Would you be willing to do that for us, man?"
Honestly, absolutely would love to, bro. You're an awesome interview, dude. Like when you said it was gonna be like an hour, 15 minutes, I was like, oh man, what the hell talk about for an hour on a podcast? But like literally, I feel like like we don't have enough time. But it was awesome. You would love to come back. You're awesome, and your team and everything.
Thank you, G, and that's honestly why we asked if you want to come back because an hour's never enough, man. And we definitely want to know more about you. We definitely want to chill more about you. So we're gonna make that happen soon. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we'll be in contact. My last question though, because it is the end of the show, and I know they want to know. What could you do us the honor of introducing our final track we're going to leave the audience with today?
Definitely, definitely. So this track is called Birds, Trees, and Revelries off of my first EP, which you can find on Spotify, my Patreon, and my Instagram. So this track is called Birds, Trees, and Revelries, and I was inspired by you know how when some birds sing, it's so beautiful, right? Some birds have a beautiful singing voice, but when it's at 6 a.m. and you're trying to sleep and it's outside your window, it's like the worst possible sound in the world. Like I have this one bird that's always crashing into my window and like screeching at the top of its lungs, and I low key want to like, well, I don't advocate violence against animals, but this one bird I have beef with, and I couldn't sleep, so I low key sort of sampled him a little bit and made this song around that. Just birds, trees, and revelries, and just a little bit inspired by this annoying bird, but mainly just about birds singing freely in trees and just having a good flighty time, I guess. Yeah.
Well, man, with that, we're gonna definitely try to fly with you and these birds on the way out. Dave, man, it's been an awesome experience. It's been my honor and my pleasure, and I can't wait till next time we sit down. Until then, I wish you nothing but love, success, and blessings, boss. Take care.
You too, Matthew. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All right, guys, this does wrap up today's interview with David Bathen. My guy's honestly, like I said, he's a natural born entertainer, and if you get the opportunity to see him, you definitely want to do this. You definitely want to do this. I promise you, it's gonna be worth your money. It's gonna be worth your time. Until the next time we meet, guys, I definitely appreciate everybody on the team. For real, you guys, you have no idea how much you guys really do mean to us. From the viewers to the teams that makes this happen. To just everyone who takes the time to fellowship with us and to watch these interviews, get to know these artists. So until the next time we meet, guys, don't wait on the world to change when you can change the world. This is David Bathen, Birds, Trees, and Revelries. Until next time, we're out.